Oh, music.
Yeah.
The music stuff.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do some kind of music program in here?
That would be fun, but no. It's going to be at a bed and breakfast in Detroit called the Cochran House.
Okay.
It's like right across from Little Caesars Arena and like on the outskirt of downtown.
Yep.
And we're going to have like 20 to 30 people.
Yeah.
I think our first test run is on the 21st.
Yep.
And we're going to have probably like 20 of us there. And the idea is to do like drinks and food, and it's like a really nice event, and we'll charge ticket costs, so we'll be making money from it. So we'll charge to come, and there'll be like $100 to $300 tickets depending on the artist and everything.
Oh, cool.
So they get drinks and like a really nice meal.
Like
and
a VIP experience.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so the idea is it's a live recording.
Yeah.
And we bring in different artists all of the time, and then we'll be filming everything, and we'll do a live stream as well. So like I have video directing experience for like live production, so I've done that for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And so I ordered the new Blackmagic's ATM switcher, the Mini Pro.
Nice.
And I'm hoping that I get it, because
Sweet.
I ordered it a while ago, but it's back ordered.
Yeah,
so.
I know how that can be. I actually installed one of those way back in the day.
It's one of the newer ones. They just came out with
old,
it.
Yeah, an old one, a big old ATEM 4. What, I don't know, some big old switcher. It's been like a decade by now.
Yeah, those ones are fun.
Yeah,
lots of buttons.
Yeah, right. A whole bunch of buttons. It just looks fancy. That's all.
But yeah,
does the same thing.
It's pretty. Yeah, just more
fancy.
inputs.
Yep.
So we'll be live streaming, and we're gonna have ideally 3 cameras. So I might buy another one, but if I can find somebody with a Blackmagic, then
okay. So it's gonna be live streamed.
Yeah, it's gonna be live streamed.
Ooh, so what? People you're gonna bring them in with the VIP experience. It sounds like that's the whole goal.
Yeah, so they're coming to a live recording, and so part of the audience they'll be filming. So like if you think about like Tiny Desk concerts, is you have like a little bit of a live audience for those. This is going to be a similar thing, and so it's going to be pretty fun. I'm excited for it. We're going to get some sponsors as well, so businesses will pay to sponsor it. We'll build up a YouTube channel, eventually monetize on that.
That's cool.
So there's a group of us who's doing this and putting it together, and they're all pretty involved. They're either musicians or they're involved in the world of music in Detroit. Mm-hmm. So we have some pretty great people.
Yeah.
So
you find the right people to put on the show, I think it could be real successful. I've heard I've messed around with some guys who had a similar idea to that, but it wasn't fully formed as much as yours is, because it was kind of like, we want to do this live show and try and make it a reoccurring thing. But it was quite a few years ago, and I don't think the whole live stream technology has come up to where it's at now. So yeah, I think you guys got something good going there. It could be really cool.
It'd be fun. If you want to be involved or run a camera,
and come check it out for sure. Yeah,
we're doing the first one on the 21st of this month. So I think it's on a Tuesday.
Okay.
So I mean, if you want to check your calendar and let me know.
All right,
it'd be fun to have you there.
Yeah, I'd love to come down and check it out.
The test runs, we're doing this one, and then I think another one, just to work through everything.
Okay.
And then after that, then we'll start getting paid.
Yeah.
So because we'll get the business sponsors, so it'll be a little moneymaker as well, which is cool.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of history with some artists in the city. So some music guys, I don't know, mostly hip hop dudes and rap guys, and I don't know. I've been around a little bit.
Yeah.
Shot some music videos.
There you go. Good old music videos.
Thing that really, it's really where my business has been being divided lately. In the last really couple of years, I've really been dividing the brand for Brandon Damon Video, and then there's Auxiliary Cinema is what I've created.
Okay.
auxcinema.com. I don't really talk about this at all.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, I don't really promote it. It's just kind of this thing amongst, probably more of the hip hop guys themselves would know about it more than anyone generally. But that's where all the music videos go, when I make them. And
how often do you make music videos?
Whenever they're paying. So actually I got one this weekend, tomorrow.
Nice.
A little 2-part shoot, Saturday and Sunday. But mess with a couple of small labels out of LA and New York, and every once in a while When I first started off, it was a little more frequent, doing pretty cheap, of course.
Got to build up that portfolio.
09-ish, yeah. Just like anything, like talking about the photography, fashion photography or anything, you got to do the work first and show them that you can do it. And then it built up a huge reputation, and then I had people coming to me. And then you get to pick and choose a little bit more about who you want to work with. So, yeah, it's evolved. It took a good, solid, long time. I had some really good paying gigs in the beginning too, but to really make it a solid machine, it took a good 10 years, probably eight years, something like that.
Takes a long time to build.
I'm old. Yeah, it takes a long time to build.
It's lots of experience.
Is any editors in the house here? Anyone likes Premiere?
I used to use Premiere.
Premiere Pro, yeah, that's good. The synchronization tool on there has saved me hours of my life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a great tool. So as long as you get a good solid audio reading, you're good.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
I just use DaVinci Resolve for everything now.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't do video for a long time.
Oh, the whole process on DaVinci?
Yeah, everything.
Oh, okay, wow. All
yeah,
right.
they've moved past just being for color grading.
Okay.
They have everything, and it's great.
Okay.
Works perfect for what I need. It's super simple. It syncs the audio and all that jazz.
Right, yeah. Apple products are starting to scare me, the direction they're going. It seems like they're caring less and less about that end user, the editor, something like that. I don't know, Premiere's still good, but it seems like Apple products might fizzle out here soon, so I might need an avenue to go.
Are you saying Apple products for what specifically? For like Final Cut or what?
Yeah, for video editors specifically. I don't know, it sounds like the MacBook might be, I don't know, like just like the Mac Towers, they kind of went away for a minute there. It seems just, I don't know, it seems to be less reliable for providing the power for that editors need,
Yeah.
From what I'm reading, I don't know, it seems like you're...
Well, I mean, I think the main thing is cost.
Yeah.
Is like you can build your own Windows tower. And it can be a beefy machine, and it can work great.
Right.
And you can spend a fraction of the cost.
Really?
Like, what are the new Mac Pros, like 40 grand or something? They're super expensive.
I just got I got a new laptop, but they say the laptops are going to fizzle out here soon. But a new laptop, $4 or $5 grand. Yeah, you can build your own for about $4 or $5 grand. Last time I looked into it because I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to buy a laptop or am I going to build my own machine? And I could probably get into building my own machine. I know enough, a little bit technically, to be able to do that. But then you got to be able to troubleshoot it. As if something goes wrong, you plug, something. I wasn't.
I can help you do it. It's pretty easy.
Is it? Yeah, I wasn't really into figuring that out. Spending that time.
That's fair.
To troubleshoot it.
Yeah.
So I figured go with the Mac Pro, but it's probably going to become a real problem in the future, I think, because something I'll have to build my own machine eventually.
Yeah, guess we'll see.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the portability of like a MacBook Pro,
right?
But power wise, you just can't really touch it. Like you could build a super fast editing computer for like $4 grand versus buying like a MacBook Pro or something for $4 grand.
Right.
Like an upgraded version. It's gonna be way faster, but you also have to sit somewhere and use it.
Right.
We have a friend who he used to take his iMac Pro with him everywhere. He didn't have like a laptop or anything, so he would like do video editing at the coffee shop. He had a huge case for it, and he would just bring it in, like plug it in and everything.
Do what you got to do, man. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. It's nice because like really it was just a power cable, and then it was wireless keyboard and mouse, I think. So it wasn't too bad, and you just got a giant screen. I'm like, it's not a bad deal,
right? No. That's the great thing about this medium, It's just like a painter with his paintbrush, It's like it doesn't really matter what tools you have, whatever tools is at your disposal. That's what you use. That's what I consult my clients on too. I'm like, if they don't want to have me come out and take photos or video, I consult them on to use their phone right in their pocket. Use that right away. Whatever you have available, and if you've got a vision, you can get it out nowadays. No matter what you got.
Yeah, I like that you give people options if they don't have the budget.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, like I can teach you how to do some of this stuff if you want to do some of it on your own, but you have to be willing to learn and to try it on your own.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, here's how to get some good lighting. Hey, some things to say, things like that. Give them a few tips and like let them do their thing.
Yep, set them off to rip, and then they usually will come back and go, oh man, that's a lot harder than I thought, or I need a lot more practice, or I'm not ready for it. And I go, well, usually when we work with someone else, I got a teleprompter and make the whole process a lot easier, this and that, and so
yeah,
you can
yeah,
it out.
It's wild how people underestimate the work that goes into good video marketing or good video production in general.
Right.
And like, it's not just setting up some cameras. It's the audio engineering. It's knowing your audio. It's knowing your lighting. There's a bunch of lights that you can't see right now all around us. There's staging. There's editing. There's getting it in front of people, promotion, all of that if you actually want your video marketing to have a return on your investment. And people just don't see that. They just think, oh, it's easy to do a video. Like, we just make one, right? Like, no. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. Do you have any ways that you kind of like approach that conversation with some of your new clients?
Yeah, it's really tough. And actually, the pivot I've made in my company is that I've really stopped selling on video quality because people generally can't tell the difference. Unless you're one of these really big companies like AAA or someone or Coca-Cola. They're gonna be a little more resourceful with their budget, but when it comes to the companies that I deal with, these smaller medium-sized businesses, people really generally can't tell the difference between quality. So I stopped selling on quality and I try and sell on results. That's why I got into the whole marketing side of things, so we can actually go into the Google Analytics and the Facebook Analytics and show them the actual click-ins, and then to the landing page, and then I can actually hit them up and go, hey, I had Karen fill out the form, and how was she? Was she a good Karen? Of course I go.
Yeah, good old Karen.
Yeah, how was she a good client?
Yeah.
So you can specifically talk to that. That's kind of been the evolution, is to kind of get away from selling on quality, even though quality is very important. And also the strategy that you put into all that quality. From the very beginning, it starts with a script.
Yeah.
So the way you welcome your audience or capture their attention in these ads and all videos generally, it's all part of that strategy. And quality, eventually people, I've noticed once I got my clients going, they have started to notice a little bit of quality and point out what, is going on. Once they kind of have seen the behind the scenes, they kind of get a little in tune to that. But in general, it hasn't really affected the content and the message. Once the content's there, you're going to capture it whatever way you can, whether I got to go handheld and not be on a stabilizer or a tripod. You just kind of do what you got to do to capture the content nowadays, So that's kind of where it comes down to it with me. It's like, quality's important. I just can't sell on it anymore. I can't be like, my stuff's so much better looking than theirs. This is why you should pay more. It just doesn't correlate. Yeah,
it doesn't matter how good looking it is. It matters, does it convert? Have people seen it? Do they watch it? Do they watch all of it? Or do they just keep scrolling past it?
Right.
How do you get their attention? And then how is it that you convert that attention? Exactly. And that's something that most people underestimate with video. And if they want to do video and video marketing well, is you need to know your audience. You need to know what they're interested in. Then you need to create content, video content specifically for them.
Right.
Something that's helpful or that is entertaining to them or whatever it is, whatever your business is. And then you have to get it in front of them. So like we can sit here and we can record great content or this conversation. It doesn't matter if we only post it once. Nobody's going to watch that. Maybe like your close friends and your family and people who like really support you and they cheer you on. They're like, hey, like go you. But really is if you really want to get in front of your audience is you have to do some paid promotion. You have to do some work for that and you have to be in it for the long run. And you can't just do that with one video. You need to do it consistently. I tell people is realistically, if you want to grow your influence in your social media without buying your followers, which I totally disagree with, because it's not going to get you anywhere.
Right.
And people know, and they judge you.
Oh,
and
they find out.
And you look
There's easy
bad.
ways to find out. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And so you have to get it in front of the right people, and you have to know that it takes slow growth at the beginning, and eventually you're going to build enough of an audience that eventually, as you might be able to hit some faster growth.
Right.
And that's when you grow exponentially. But maybe you need to put out content for 3 months, for 6 months, for a year before you really start to develop some traction. Because you're going to learn as you do it as well. You're going to figure out what your audience likes, what they don't like. when to put in like direct sells or when to just do educational content. You'll figure out your cadence, but you have to do it. You have to commit to doing it.
That's the first step is the hardest part, is just to get out there and get it going, and then from there, the potential's unlimited from there, but you brought up some good points, and I'm trying to think a lot of different things I wanted to speak to there.
Yeah, I just rattled some off real quick.
Yeah, no, you covered a lot of ground there. Just kind of about knowing your audience and trying to relate it back to that quality, issue, because quality matters to me and you. Really, the landscape today it's a pay to play kind of landscape. With Zuckerberg at the helm, he's got a company, it's Facebook, and he wants you to buy ads. And what's going on right now is a lot of big companies are boycotting him. Have you heard about this?
A little bit. Surface read a title.
So, yeah, a lot of big advertisers are pulling their Facebook ads because he won't censor certain groups or people. We won't name specific people. But some big names out there. So people are protesting Facebook ads, which really, in turn, for smaller businesses, it actually opens up more marketing space without big companies like Coca-Cola and AAA taking up the advertising space.
Yeah,
it's talking about making the right content. I feel like lately there's been a evolution in content, and for business owners, that people that want to be the face of their company, maybe not, they're obviously not Coca-Cola, these big companies, right? But local companies that want to be the face of their company, that's the evolution of this content. If you want to show that there's a real person behind your business name, and you are a real person that people can go to when they have a problem or they need a solution, or whatever industry it may be, that they're going to come and deal with your business, and they're going to get a real person, to help them. I think that's kind of the evolution of what's going on with video and business right now. So I'm trying to get these people to step up to the mic and be the face of their business, because if they do that, you're going to gain more trust with your viewer. You're going to build an organic following. There's a lot of benefits to kind of going that route.
Yeah, 100%. And that's something that more and more businesses are learning. And I'm excited for it. We've been doing that stuff more with our team. And hey, how do we get on camera more? How do we feel more comfortable? How do we show our faces? And one of the benefits that I talk about with video is that you get to show yourself, and you're showing yourself. People can see you, they can hear you, and that creates such a deep level of trust versus just a still photograph or an email or just a post that you write. Is it shows you that brand, and it shows you the people behind the business. And that's something that a lot of consumers want to see now.
Yeah, they say no distant photography or anything, but they say photo speaks 1,000 words. Video, could be 30 frames a second, so maybe 30,000 words.
Yeah, you do the math.
I don't know. Yeah, it's mathematical. So, it's very powerful. I always say video is the most powerful medium on the web. It's the most powerful tool that you can use. And so that's why, in my business, I've been focusing around video strategy and video marketing, and really evolved the whole strategy around video and the distribution of that online. Maximizing that. There's a lot of extra stuff out there that you can do for your business. Like, people will step in on the marketing side and say, you don't want your competitors clicking your ads and taking your revenue money, all these little side things that are going on. But if someone wants to cut right through the minutia and get right to business on video, that's kind of what I've kind of evolved my business around being, just kind of cut right to a really solid video marketing strategy, and we can distribute it all over and get you all in the right places, and just all based around video. So,
yeah, for sure. And even and as you were saying that, how you're kind of evolving your business is when you reached out to me a couple months ago. You reached out in a really creative way that I really liked. And what you did is you recorded a video with our website in the background on your computer screens, and you were sitting in front of it, and you did a personal video just for me. And I was like, wow, that's really cool that he did that he took the time to do it as a high quality video as well. Shows that he really put some effort into it and cared. And so I'm like, all right, this guy seems cool. Let's talk. And that's how we're here right now. But you can do that on different scales, and what you're talking about with giving, if your client doesn't have a budget enough to pay for you, you give them a couple tips. And one thing that you can do with video marketing is just, instead of just only replying to your customers' emails with text, is record a short little video on your phone and attach it. That's a really simple way that you can continue to build trust. as you're building your business. In any business, it's so helpful, and it's way easier to communicate a lot of information.
Right, exactly. And if anyone's watching today, take that one tip away from me right now is that if you want to go out there and get new clients, I know LinkedIn is kind of tightening down on being able to reach out to, people that you may not be linked with yet or whatever, just giving them a message right off top, But that's the way I did it with you. Just recorded a personal message, sent it right to you, addressed you personally, Bill and the company. People respond to that. So if you're watching, take that home as a little tidbit and put it to practice in your business to get brand new, fresh leads.
Yeah. Sometimes it's worth putting in that extra time into getting to know the people that you want to get to know if you don't know them yet. And just copying and pasting like a message to a whole bunch of people, a few people might respond, but people generally know when you copy and paste something and you just replace their name. And so, you might be able to send the same message to 20 people and maybe 2 people reply. Or you can take that same time and make, a couple of high quality videos and you just swap out their name in the same video. You have the same script and then you just send it that way.
Yep.
It's going to convert at a way higher rate than the text, hands down. All the time.
Absolutely. Yep. Video it's great for that. Yeah. I mean, speaking of, doing the outreach and everything, I don't know if there's any sole proprietors in the building, people that run their own business, but being in that sales space has kind of been a new thing for me. I've been in this industry of just video production for I hate that word, I've been in this space for 12 years now.
Okay.
So professionally, ever since college. So, and I've always just done the video production work, right? Done the technical side. And now recently in the last few years, stepping into the sales space and going and getting my own clients. That's really been the change in another huge change in the last recent years is being the guy that goes and gets the sale and then executing the work, talk about point A to point B and not just photography, videography, but then going and getting the sales yourself. It's fulfilling. I think it's fun. It's exciting, but it's very challenging. You get a lot of no's. You got to meet a lot of new people. You got to try new things to reach out to people. So and to market myself too. So it's a whole nother challenge just to market myself, and then also go and get new sales at the same time. So, but I've enjoyed kind of stepping in that sales space and becoming the voice and the face of my business. I'm practicing what I preach, what I'm telling other people to do, essentially. So it's been a worthwhile thing because I've been able to work out my own strategies, and by doing the work myself, and finding these strategies that actually work and then deploying them in my own business. So,
yeah. If I'm starting a new business and I need some sales advice, what are a couple really simple tips that you would give somebody in that situation?
Someone in sales advice, I first say, do you have a website? Are you selling something online already right now? I'd have a few questions, what are your goals that you might want to do online with being online? What are your goals? Do you want to increase followers, to increase engagement, get more sales directly? So there's a lot of different routes you can go. There's the long route. You can brand, do a lot of branding videos to show people your culture and what your values are and who you are as a company and what you guys stand for. That's a little longer route to the branding side. Or if you are an online seller or a merchant and you want to get directly to sales, there's another route. We can make some ads that speak directly to sales, give people some incentive to click in, come back to your website, and it's a little more direct to sales. So it all depends on what kind of result you want for your business. Some people might go, I just want more Instagram followers. Or, some people, I want to increase my sales, straight out. So there's all the different kind of people across the spectrum, and so I kind of interpret that for them. But I would say, there's a lot of different routes to go. It all depends on where you want to take your business.
Cool. So for you is, in the past few years of getting into sales, what are some of your top takeaways of wow, I can't believe I did this that way. That was really, really bad. and you learn just a way better way to do it. Does anything kind of pop to mind?
Really preparing for sales meetings. You want to know the client as much as you can, research them online. That's the great thing about, trying to figure out their video marketing, is that you can go on their website, see what kind of marketing they have already going, and then you can offer some suggestions. That's a good way to prepare for the sales meeting. Also, really, was that my phone? I would say, what else when it comes to sales? The LinkedIn thing was a huge thing for sales for me. It was a big light bulb moment to reach out to people directly with a video.
Yeah.
And I really just started doing that before this whole pandemic came along. And then, I was kind of testing those waters really and got a lot of really good results. But unfortunately, a lot of things got put on hold. That's okay. It makes me feel like I can jump right back in and start right back up whenever I want. And luckily I haven't really had to go deep into my Rolodex at all to find new clients yet, so it's been really good. It's been a lot of word of mouth and stuff like that for sales. But it's really about knowing your client and being able to be a good resource for them, knowing what they want to do with their business and, where they're at and where they're trying to go, and just kind of being a source of knowledge for them so you can consult them and guide them in the right direction, when it comes to all this stuff.
Yeah, so learning your client's business well enough to understand how you can help them with some stuff that they're facing, some challenges that they're facing.
Yep, exactly. And then they're going to come up with all kinds of strange things that they want to do, and contests and all kinds of off-the-wall videos that, you got to just bring out the best in it.
There you go. Really fluff out.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of fluffing, but that's my job. And then it's funny because I'll go in to shoot for people and they're worried like, oh, this is not exactly OSHA approved, or this isn't exactly picture perfect. And I can frame a lot of things out. You wouldn't believe how much I can frame out and tell the story in a certain way that's going to just benefit you. I'm not out here to make you look bad. I'm out here to film and make your business look better.
Yeah.
Than it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to say that, but
yeah.
Make them look good. That's my job. So when people give that kind of trust in you and in your business, and that to trust me to make their business look good, it feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, like a simple way that I'll say is like, we make you look good. And like it's pretty simple, and like we make you look good through like a lot of complex things and a lot of experience, and we make you look good by helping you feel comfortable on camera. Because a lot of people have never been on camera in a video capacity with lights and microphones. You can hear yourself. Right. There's people around. That's a lot of energy that people are nervous about. And so like something that I take pride in is I'm pretty good at getting people to feel comfortable on camera.
Yeah.
And like I love telling people, oh, if you're feeling nervous, just do some jumping jacks. It's always my advice. Yep. Get some energy out, gets your heart rate going. And then you stop thinking about, you're like not in your head as much, and you can be a little bit more present. And then I'll help coach people through what to expect. And then when we're filming, I'll listen to what they're saying, and then I'll help them kind of put it in more of a structured story. Yep. So it has like a beginning, a middle, and an end. So that way they sound better. And I just like giving people confidence on camera, confidence to be themselves. Is super fun, and I think that's what we should make a lot of video marketing be about, because it's who you are anyways. Like you shouldn't be a different person on camera.
Right.
Like how we're acting right now is like a conversation that we were having right before we started being on camera. We're like, we're already having this conversation. Let's just move it over here.
Right.
And I think that creates a lot of trust as well.
Yeah, and I love that side of things too. I like to do the same thing and make people feel comfortable and just get over this barrier, or just because there's a camera here, suddenly you feel like you got to talk different or be different. I like to break down that barrier too, make people feel comfortable. And that's basically really where I'm at, like in my mindset. I'm like really interested in advanced production techniques to get what you want out of the talent. It's kind of like where I'm thinking now. Like I know there's like little tricks that people do and things just to get what they want out of the script read, or just to get the talent and find the right angle or whatever it is. Just to get the talent to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
Naturally. Whatever the scenario is, but like just advanced production techniques, that's the kind of cool stuff that I'm always thinking about now, being a producer,
Yeah. As you're saying that, I'm remembering, like, as you're looking at all of the details to everything, like I got to give some quick advice. If you're just getting into video production or photography, and if you're out there taking photos of a client or of just practicing, if you're unsure if you got like a good enough shot or got the right shot, do it again. Right. Especially if you're doing video. If you think your audio might have cut out and you aren't sure, but you're too nervous to check, do it right then, because you can't fix that. If your audio cut out, or if you were out of focus for half of it, like, you don't want that. Right. And it's going to make you feel bad. You're not going to want to deliver that video to your client because you know you messed it up. Right. Like, just rather tell your client, like, hey, let's try that once more. Like, I messed something up, and like, get plenty of footage because you just might need it.
Oh yeah, yep. I've definitely been down that road.
Yeah, I was thinking of that when you were talking about pushing your talent to like try different things, and like, it's okay to tell people like, that didn't sound good. Yeah. Like, that did not sound good. Here's what I liked, and like, try putting it in this way, because I think that is more of like a structured story, or it might sound better, or it might resonate better. Or like, it just doesn't sound weird. How you said it before sounded weird.
Right. And, you know, it's funny, being like a marketer, people are like, oh, so you're like into communications. I'm like, yeah, you know, so you think I'm this great communicator, but I don't always speak perfectly and things like that. So one of the things I've actually found out behind the camera is I'll tell people, I'll be like, just say this, you know, just try and give them laid out exactly what I'm looking for. Just trying to do it exactly like this. I'll step right into their shoes. I'm looking for you to open the door like this, and then smile right here, stand here, and just trying to be as specific and communicate as directly as I can, because that's one of my challenges on set. It's all up here, but I gotta get it out and communicate to the client how I want them to do it.
So you're saying that you do like a walkthrough?
Yeah, or sometimes I'll just tell
that's
them,
cool. I like that.
Then maybe doing a script read, and I'll be like, try this. Just say it just like this. Start off with, we get more sales this way or that, you know, just kind of feed them the word sometimes. Yeah. I don't always like to interfere that way. I like to really capture my talent a lot of the times naturally, let them be as natural as possible, and I really like to not interfere. But sometimes in the right scenario, if we're doing a script read or something like that, I just have to tell them, do it just do it just like this.
It's totally worth trying. Like, you're already there. It's not going to take that much longer. It's not that much footage. And it's worth having something a little bit different. Yeah. Because you never know what that next thing is going to lead to. Like, you sharing your way of doing it might inspire them to think of a better way to do it. And like, always share that stuff.
Right. And I always give them the disclaimer too. It all depends on what industry I'm working in. But if I tell them, hey, you know, if I tell you to try something like this, and if it's something that you guys would never do, you know, if you're a plumber, you would never do this, then just tell me, you know, we would never put our tools over here, do something like this, or look under the sink this way or something like that. Then just tell me, well, you know, I'm here to make you look good.
Yeah, I want it to be realistic.
We'll cut that out. Yeah, exactly. Trying to capture that natural essence and still get what you want. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I kind of got one that's been a recent, this wasn't from the email, but this was a recent, you know, as things just loosened up from the state or whatever in the last couple of weeks. So I had a few clients that I had started at the beginning of the virus, and now everything's getting a little bit better. So I got rushed with a bunch of shoots in the last couple of weeks, which is great. Felt great to get back into the groove. I had some clients ask me, they go, you know, what would you rather be shooting? They think like their business is like so boring to me, right? When really it's not. I don't really care what I'm shooting, like as far as content. For me, I kind of found this out when I thought about it a little bit more. I'm like, you know, for me, it's really about the medium of telling story through video is what excites me, and why this will never get old. Mm-hmm. Because it's not really about the content. The content doesn't have to be super exciting. I'm pulling the story out of the content. That's what's exciting to me. So it doesn't matter if you're a plumber, or if you're if we're doing a music video, or we're doing a, you know, high fashion photo shoot, or whatever it is. If we're telling a story through video, that's what excites me and turns me on. You know, so it doesn't really matter what about the content when it comes down to it. Really, yeah. I'm kind of more in love with the format. You know, that's good. And the medium. You know? So that's what kind of is some inspiration for people out there. Is, you know, maybe you can draw from that a little bit, but it's kind of what I've been keying in on. Yeah, I like that you're focused on the story, and your videos are going to be so much better if you do focus on the story. I think that's what a lot of beginners in video overlook, is consistency through the story. Yeah. Even like
looking at a shot list versus looking at the story.
Yep.
And like, I'd much rather know the story that I'm trying to capture versus having a shot list. Because a shot list you can do mindlessly to an extent.
Right.
But you can also miss some really, really interesting things if you're only looking for shots, if you're not looking for, oh, well, how do I communicate the beginning of this story?
Yeah.
And then how do I communicate the end? And it's just a different way of seeing it. And I'm guessing that's probably why you've done well for yourself.
Yeah. Because from industry to industry, people are like, aren't you sick of shooting us doing such and such? Or, I'm like, no, this is always exciting to me. I can always, and plus a lot of it's been a lot of run and gun stuff too. I'm not on like film sets or anything. A lot of it's just for these medium-sized businesses, and they're like, hey, I've got this thing going on today. I think it could be some content. Why don't you come out and shoot it, see what we can do? And they've luckily trusted me enough to come out and do that and pull the story out and make it look exciting and fun. And that's the whole challenge. That's what keeps it fresh, So, yeah, I don't know. But it's just something that came to mind to me in the last few weeks that I was like, because people have been asking me that, aren't you bored? Isn't this old to you? And I'm like, no.
It is interesting.
It's not.
Like, you have to figure out, like when you're thinking about like what you enjoy doing, sometimes you have to like really figure out what is it specifically that you enjoy. And like it's not just making videos. It's a lot more than that.
Right.
And like when you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, figure out what is something that you really, 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 really enjoy. Like, what are you super curious about?
Right.
And then go look into it.
And that's the great thing
it.
about video too, is that I can be super curious about a lot of different things. I can apply this medium to a lot of different industries and learn all about this subject over here and learn about it, all this totally something else over here, and be completely ignorant to it, and just just a whole new perspective just knocks down the walls in my mind, and I'll discover a whole new world, and a whole new perspective of doing things. So that's what kind of is always, it's never going to get old to me, shoot, I was going to say something else. I get about one good point out.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. And
one's all you need sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're starting out and trying to figure out what you want to do, it's a challenge, I'm trying to think of my path. I kind of got into video. I got into video a long time ago because my friend skateboarded in high school, and I saw my friend with a MacBook, and I thought, hey, that's fun. He's doing it, editing on the Mac, and it looks fun and easy. I think I can do that too. So then my mom got me into school for going, doing it mainly because video has a little bit of a future. It looked like back in, think very far back where you were in 04. 04. When I graduated high school. Coming out of college at that time, really really had no interest to go to college, but my mom got me in for the right reasons, saw a little bit of future in this medium, and said this might be something good because I had a little bit of interest towards that in high school, but really learned a bunch of stuff in college that was really great. And then after that, graduated, put it to work, and still thinking, what am I going to do in this? You can be on the technical side, or there's all different things you can do with this format, in this medium of video. You can work on commercial film sets. There's totally so many different things you can do. And then as time progressed, technology's advanced, and in 2008, the smartphone became widely popular, and it really changed technology again and made video more accessible. And with streaming and internet speeds, and video became a super popular format. And there's just a lot of different ways you can go with this video thing. A lot of different directions you can take it. Really. Yeah.
So what you're saying is video is the future?
Yeah, video is the future for sure. It's this best tool on the web,
It's best tool to communicate.
Yeah.
Communicate internally with your team, communicate externally with your clients.
There's a lot of different uses. I've people in sales meetings, they go, oh, we don't have any use for video. I go, I bet you I can find like 10 places where you can use video to help you save time, money, and increase sales and help your business.
Yeah.
So
a lot of ways to leverage that. Like what if you have a client who's like, well, why should I be doing video marketing anyways? They're skeptical for some reason. What are your top 3 reasons why a business needs to invest into video marketing?
Ooh, all right. I'm going to try and answer that question because honestly, lately that has been not a problem. People are like, I am sold on the video. I know I need video. That's some of these people that I've kind of run into.
So what are they saying? Why do they need video?
They want to obviously communicate more with their audience and capture a following online, so they can build a captive audience and have them turn into clients eventually. That's, I think, of what everyone's goal is really. Mm-hmm. Or just to get noticed. Some people have a little bit of element of just wanting to get noticed or get a little bit of credibility for what they do. And so suddenly they started making videos and publicizing it, and they got a bunch of credit for being the experts when maybe they may not be the experts, but they're just publicizing it.
Yeah, they just weren't afraid to be on video and to show themselves.
So they started to collect that notoriety, and
Yeah.
they just had to step up. The challenge for them was just step up into that space and own it. Mm-hmm. You're the expert now. You're getting all these calls for this type of work, and just step up and own it. Be the expert that you are, because generally these people are very skilled trade at something, and they're very good at doing something. The product's good. Like I don't partner with everyone. I really only have space for like maybe 3 or 4 good clients on my roster.
Yeah.
And if they've got a good product, then I'm going to want to work with them. I don't want to work with everyone. It's just not always the right fit. I don't want to make money unless my client's making money. If I'm making them money and they're then the cycle's complete.
Yeah.
That's a good partnership there. I don't want to do a one-off video, charge them a one-time fee, a really high fee, give it to them, and they don't know what to do with the video. They don't know how to market it generally, and generally businesses don't. They're busy doing the work.
Yeah.
They don't know how to market the video and make it really go to work for them. So sure, I can give them a one-off video, see you later, and then they kind of months down the line, they don't know, it has no views, it has gone nowhere, and they kind of go, well, why did I invest in that?
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. And then what either happens, it either fizzles out there, and they kind of think, oh, this Brandon Damon guy really gave me the middle finger here, kind of charged me and walked away, right? Kind of what it feels like. I'd rather build a relationship with people, and really, I kind of only accept now like 3-month deals, 3 to 6 month deals is where I like to find people, because you can't you can't just market right out the gate. You want to do a little bit. You got to do a little bit to get some traction. You got to populate the socials with some quality content.
Yeah.
You got to pad that. Then you're going to have your about video and explain your company culture and all these things to draw your audience in. So it takes time to build that. And generally, even with paid ads, it takes time to gain any of that traction too. And plus, the other dimension is gathering data. You want to initially gather some data without the ads running. Typically, when clients come to me, they have nothing going on. So I'll start gathering some data on their website.
Get a baseline.
Show them where they're at. And then we start running these ads. And I go, look, these video ads contributed for 95% of your web traffic. So we can show those kind of results.
Yeah.
So that was a long trailing thought.
No, I love
There's
that.
a lot there.
I don't know if you saw the big smirk on my face when you said I only take certain clients. Like you have room for 3 to 4 clients, and that's what I talk about. And like with this new business, and I'm like, also we're only doing minimum of 3-month contracts, and like that's barely. Yeah. Because the idea is you can't just invest into one video. You need to invest into multiple videos over time for them to actually do anything, and you need to also promote those videos. You need to get them in front of the audience that you want to see them and to then buy something from you or to follow you or whatever your goal is. And most people or most businesses, I think it's just like maybe they just think that one video is all we need. Like one brand story video is going to be great for us. Like, yeah, it's helpful, but it's not going to significantly move the needle forward, like because it's just one thing in time.
Right.
And I look at video and video marketing as an investment to any business. And for me as a business owner, I think about what are the things that I invest into.
Right.
And sometimes is you're not going to see your money for a little while. That's why it's an investment. And that's what video marketing is all about. And you have to do it consistently. So it's not just making one video a month for 3 months. It's making one video every week. It's making videos every day.
Yep.
And it's getting them scheduled and posted. And there's so much work to be done there. And so when you're talking about limiting the clients that you take on, that's the reason why, because you want to go deep with your relationship, because your client success is your success.
Exactly.
And that's critically important. And I'm the same exact way. Like, I want you to make money because you making more money means that I make more money too. And that's a sweet deal for both of us.
Exactly.
So I want you to succeed. So of course I'm going to coach you. Of course I'm going to get extra stuff to really help you stand out.
Right.
And we're going to go the extra mile for you.
Yeah.
But you're also compensating us extremely well for it, because we know what we're doing, and you know that you're going to grow and you're going to hit your goals.
Right.
Because of us.
Man, I'll tell you, Bill, if I hear another marketer online say, if you can spend $1 and make $2 back, have you heard this on all
It sounds familiar. I don't see most ads.
I'm going to go
so
nuts. That's the kind of stuff I see. I'm just like, if I hear another person say that. But yeah, generally true. That is the idea. You want to, if we're making you money, and that's the cycle. We're gonna make your business money. It's gonna return, and we're gonna keep turning off this profit. And collecting the numbers for you and your business, and driving those numbers up.
Yeah. So
It doesn't happen overnight.
It does not happen overnight, and it takes a lot of thought and a lot of strategy and planning. And so I look at like our business, Content Studios, is we have 3 different kind of teams that you're going to hire. One is a strategy and planning team, and theirs, we're going to learn what's your business, who are your customers, who are your ideal customers, what do they look like, and so that way we get to understand who do you want to sell to, and because that's going to tell us what sort of language should we be using, what sort of like stories should we be telling, what do they want to hear from you to get educated about your product, or to create trust, or do they want to see your support team, because that's an important thing, knowing that your support team members are there for them.
Right.
Like whatever it is there's a lot of strategy and planning that goes into it. If it's a video series, it's scheduling guests, it's location scouting,
right.
It's bringing in props and lights and all of this other stuff, and you go into then video production. Then there's the complexities of video production, audio engineering, lighting, video staging, video editing, which takes probably the longest out of all of this stuff. Video editing takes a long time. Adding subtitles, chopping up a bunch of little social media videos, so that way you actually have a bunch of content.
Right.
Just like we're going to chop up this video, so that way people can watch 30-second sound bites or 3-minute sound bites.
Right.
Not an hour-long video.
Yep, there's a lot to it, and it's tough to get the client to buy into all that, because you don't want to skip any of those steps. Really, we can rush into it and make this video, but it is about researching those terms, and doing that market research is a big part of it. You don't want to skip any of these steps, because you want to do this right the first time. Then I've had clients come back to me and go, I did a video with so-and-so, and it wasn't all cracked up to what I thought it was going to be. And well, you probably missed some marketing, some pre-production steps into what's going to make this video great, really, and last over time. Because this stuff goes online and it lives on there forever. That's the big ROI with video, is that it's out there forever, but you want to do it right the first time.
I love that video is a resource that's out there forever. Educational videos, how-to videos for your business, product videos, that's an awesome thing to have, because that is going to last forever.
Right. And so that ROI is there, but then also, like we're talking about, doing it monthly, keeping your content up to date, making your own content as a business, being your own face of that business. That's all part of it, to make that flow, and having fresh new content. So sure, that stuff's going to live out there forever, but then you got to continue to show them that you're a living, breathing business, and continue to bring fresh content and update people with what you're doing, whatever industry you're in.
Exactly.
Stay relevant.
I'm just thinking of the consistency there is critically important.
Right.
If you stop watering your plants, what do you think is going to happen? Like, eventually they're going to wilt.
Right.
But so it's like, all right, well, it's going to last for a long time. But if you kept pouring into it, if you were doing paid promotion on those videos, if you were sharing them, if you were posting it on your LinkedIn one week and then your Twitter the next week, and you were cross promoting them, you were putting them into email campaigns, you were really leaning into your video content. If you did that, your plants are going to flourish. It's going to be crazy.
Absolutely. And that's why that whole system all works together, from the website to Twitter to every social outlet, to what else is there? Email campaigns, to paid advertisements, and all organics populated, YouTube, Vimeo outlets. All that stuff works together. And then, drawing people back to your website, you got to kind of be everywhere. And the strategy has got to be consistent, cohesive. So like you said, water the plants.
Water them.
Maybe every other day.
Every other day. We'll see. Brandon knows the finger test, so she'll teach us that. We're going to do a video on it,
put
actually.
It in the soil? Yeah. You got little plants around here. I like that. So, hell yeah. That's cool.
Are you familiar with the idea of content sprouting?
No, I haven't. That's a new term for me. What's that?
Content sprouting is the idea of taking like a video, transcribing it to put on your website, writing a blog post based on that content, creating like social media images, cutting up a 30-minute long conversation like what we're doing into 15 videos.
Just having basically a shoot and then multiplying
sprouting it everywhere.
Yeah, that's absolutely something we do.
Sure. And that's like a pretty simple way to think about what you need to do with video. Is your video should really be everywhere. I was thinking about that with like email marketing. It's like email marketing is a extremely underused tool. I think that most small to medium-sized businesses probably just totally don't even think about.
Right.
And if you can use some of the video content that you use that's natural and pretty easy for us to talk and have this conversation, use that to create your other marketing content, and like that's gonna help you grow your business and also have more social content. It's more touch points to get in front of your customers at different times. And it's not just video, but you're using it to seed all of your other content.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the times when I step into a business space, they don't want to spend a lot of their time making the content. They want to do their business and make their business work. So it's about maximizing the time that you have with the client, right? And not wasting their time. So we're going to spend one day, whatever it may be, 4 hours, 8 hours to do all this stuff, make this content, but then it's gonna spread out over time and populate all your different socials and your blog and your website and everything. We're going to maximize.
Exactly.
It's about spending not a lot of time to produce it, but having it last over time for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's such an easy concept to really think about, but it takes so much to execute on that. If you think about the skills that are involved in doing that, to the level that your business should want to do it at, and it's like graphic design, it's knowing storytelling to know what to pull, it's copywriting, it's paid promotion and distribution of content, it's managing a website, it's writing a blog, it's doing all of these other things. And so like one thing that a lot of small businesses or medium-sized businesses, they'll like look at whatever it costs. I don't know what your baseline cost is for your ideal client to do all of this stuff, but it's expensive. But I also say, well, you're also hiring a crew of like 4 to 5 people to do that, because here's what it takes. It's the strategy, it's the video and audio production, it's the editing, it's the promotion and distribution, it's writing the captions for your social media posts, because like for my personal social media, I very rarely write captions because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
It takes work to do it. Kyle writes Mammoth captions and he does great at it, but it takes him time to do it.
Yeah.
And that's all part of it.
Right.
And
can't
so
be overlooked.
Exactly. And so that's copywriting.
Yep.
And there's so many layers to it if you really peel it back. And so there's good reason why you're getting charged $15,000 a month for this at the baseline to get all of that stuff.
Right.
Because that's the actual investment part of it. But the idea is that that's going to come back to you exponentially because you were willing to take on that investment because you saw the value of video marketing and you saw how it populated everywhere across your business.
Exactly. You know what? That reminds me of some of these difficult sales meetings I've had lately and getting these clients to buy into that idea that, hey, when you sign on with me on a month-to-month deal, we're not just making one video, but we're spreading it all out like we're talking about. And a lot of that strategy I've stopped listing in what I do for clients. I just kind of say it's BDV, Brandon Damon Video Strategy. I've stopped getting so detailed because I've had, unfortunately, people try to steal ideas and want to execute it themselves. And then, you know, whatever, if they've had any success, I don't know. But I kind of stopped getting into those details. But that's the kind of value that comes with all these services that comes in behind it, and that people don't exactly see off top. You know, they might be thinking we're just doing one video. And they see the value in all video, but there's more to it than that.
Yep.
It's about getting your website strategy right.
Yep.
So when we run these marketing ads back to your website, they're actually going to complete a goal.
Yeah.
And
they're going to landing pages that have
Yeah.
specific language and copywriting based on that ad that person
Right.
just came from.
Yep.
Because you don't want to send them to your homepage because you just paid a couple bucks to send them to your homepage, which
Yep.
didn't continue the story that they were just following.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff.
All these moving parts have got to work together, and it's a lot, and it's hard to explain that to a client and have them, you know, kind of buy in. That's kind of been the challenge. Like, they'll tell me that I want it all. I want the big plan.
Yeah.
Give me the plan that's better than, you know, I want everything, and I want
Yeah.
it in 2 months. And you know, you kind of give them that, and you give them a really good competitive quote and proposal, and then they change their mind, you know, for whatever reason. But you know, sometimes you don't get a fair shot. You feel like you don't get a real fair shot explaining like all these benefits, because that's what we do. We don't just make one video anymore. We spread it out everywhere.
Yeah, that's like it's a hard to ask question sometimes, but at the beginning of your client discovery conversations is asking what their budget is. So that way they actually have an understanding, because I think most people just underestimate the cost of video.
Right.
And especially when it's done for marketing, because it does live on forever. So it is a sales tool. It's a marketing tool.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
meant to get you business
Yep.
for a long time. I talked to a local business owner last year, I think, and he thought that paying $700 for like a launch video was just crazy.
Right.
And I'm like, I saw the video and it was produced well, and I know who made it, and he does really good work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought it was like a $4,000, $5,000 video. That's what I told the guy. I'm like, hey, you probably like what, $4,000? He's like, I thought $700 was a lot. I'm like,
Right.
what? And so having that conversation at the beginning can kind of cut through some of that, and you learn like, okay, well, I kind of know that these, like, maybe I don't want to throw any like small business names out there, but maybe business type A isn't in my target demographic because they don't have $15,000
Right.
a month to outsource this marketing budget.
Right.
When I think about clients, like Brianna and I were talking yesterday, she was like, who's the ideal client for like a content studio business? And I say, it's like, all right, well, maybe you have over 50 team members or employees, whatever you call them. I like team members because it's more friendly. And so you have over 50 team members, and your annual revenue is what, over $10 million or something. And you mainly focus on like one business. Like one of our clients, they do mortgages.
Yep.
And that's their main business. They're not a marketing company. They're a mortgage business, and they have like a PR agency, and that's the type of clients that we want, because they don't have any staff members for that.
Right.
So they would expect to pay some full-time staff member fees. 15
Right.
grand is cheap. It's on the cheap side.
Oh, yeah.
And but that's your entry level. Like, I want those companies, because those are the businesses who they're like, okay, yes, we just want to pay you to automate that and handle it for us. Come up with ideas, schedule the stuff for us, hound our team members down to get them in the studio to make that content,
Yep.
get it scheduled, and like do it all.
It's about finding those people that value
Exactly.
your time, and they understand that you're not charging based off time. You're charging based off of value, the
Exactly.
end value of what this is going to bring you in 6 months to a year to 2 years to the rest of the lifetime that all
Yeah.
this stuff lives online, that it will eventually do. It's about finding the right people that value you and your services, is really just finding the right fit. And I believe there's enough businesses out there that if you don't believe in what I'm doing and don't like whatever price I'm giving you, then I can go to the next business right down the line, and pitch it to them, and someone is bound to value all these different skill
Exactly.
sets and services that we're bringing to the table.
That's an important point for people getting into video production as well, or video marketing, is like, not everybody is your client. You don't need to take on everybody.
Yep.
And if they're like abusing you for the amount of work that they're asking from you and lack of compensation, like, you don't have to do it anymore. Like, you
Right.
always have a choice,
Right.
and you can say no. And like, sometimes people will just pay more. They pay you less because they know they can.
Right.
And if you're like, you know what, I really need to like actually charge you more money because I can't even pay my staff members or something.
Right.
Like, people respect that.
Yeah, regular business people, they'll understand, and it's about correlating the cost of what they're spending, specifically in an paid ad scenario, correlating that cost. Look at this is how much we spent on these ads, and then this is how much your product cost, and this is what we're making you.
Right.
You know, you got to be able to show those two figures, and once you get things going and start collecting that data, and you're able to show that, that is the straight where the rubber meets the road for me. Is what's really been the turning point in my business, is being able to show people that and going, look, we brought you this much value, this many numbers. Maybe it's click-ins in the form of click-ins, call-ins, messages, or actual purchases of how many water bottles you sold.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, if you're able to show those two categories, that's plain simple math for business owners. And they understand that and they'll respect that.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's the results.
Right.
That's the results. The work comes before that for a long time before you start to feel those results.
It takes a while to get there, you know, 6 months, maybe, you know, it's a year, you know, it doesn't happen overnight.
It's a lot of figuring it out. It's a lot of playing around. It's figuring out who you're promoting to, and you're changing your audience demographics, and you're doing all of this different stuff to really fine tune and optimize over time. So that way you figure it out, and it's more smooth, predictable revenues, and your more predictable leads.
And that brings to mind that, you know, once you get these marketing plans in place, a lot of the times, like a website, even video content itself, it's like a living, breathing thing. You're always updating it. You're always changing it. You're researching keywords. You're finding the hot times to run ads. So it's always, things are always changing.
Yeah.
Really. You're always maintaining this ecosystem balance between the website and the socials and every other outlet that they may have.
Yeah.
So, but it's a constant evolving thing, especially with these keywords and websites and things like that.
Yeah, sure. You have to be consistently focused on it. And like for the client's perspective as well, so it's not like we're just making videos and then just like spending $500 a day promoting those videos. And there's a lot of work that goes into optimizing the audience and where that ad spend goes. And that's what you're going to get with paying for somebody who's more experienced, because they've done a lot of this work already. So yeah, they might charge you more money, but you're going to spend less money in advertising because they know what the hell they're doing.
Right.
And
the targeting's right.
Yeah, it's easy for anybody to go watch a YouTube video and like learn how to make some Facebook audiences and like put in some age ranges and locations and stuff. But it's really hard to know those audiences and then to understand the copywriting that goes into high performing ads, and then the graphics that go into those ads, and then the landing pages on your website that come after.
And then retarget them, and all the different, you know, what I've been kind of suggesting is like targeting ad, like people that are like, I just kind of want to get into a little bit of the paid ad kind of stuff. So people that hit the website, you can retarget them. But there's levels to it, you know. You can target a local area, sure, but it's kind of better to hit people that are hitting your websites and socials already, maybe retarget some people who are researching your competition. And there's different ways to catch people up further than just a brand new green person out from outer space, or make a lookalike audience.
Yeah.
There's all these, you know, better ways than just grabbing a random person over here and trying to bring them in as a client. There's ways that you can find them further down the line.
Yeah.
And wrangle them in and make them your client.
And you get to know that stuff with experience.
Right. Yeah. All it comes with time and strategy. Yeah. And for me, it's just the way I learn is doing it myself. So that's kind of how my business has evolved. I had a really good mentor when I started. Came out of school, learned the trade of videography from a gentleman named John at Coastline Studios in Grand Rapids, did like Dick DeVos's wedding and stuff like that. So I learned the high-end skilled trade. And then at the same time, I was working at Public Access. So I kind of saw the two extreme spectrums of video production and quality and things. Yeah. I feel you. But there's a lot to it.
Yeah. So as things go with the Perspective podcast, we record a new episode every sometimes, and today is the day. We're sitting down with Brandon. Brandon, you and I met, I think through LinkedIn. You sent me a really creative video, and today we got to talk about a whole bunch of fun stuff about video marketing, video strategy, and how to grow your business through video.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for those.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
Cut.